Okay, well, as Anita mentioned, tonight we have a cross-examination style debate, which is slightly different from our normal standard of parliamentary style debate, where in a parliamentary style debate, the presentations are very much in individual silos, where we have one speaker come up, present their case, and then followed by the alternating speakers, and we go along that way. There's something that we like to throw into some of our debates called points of information, where there's an option to ask one pointed question or two questions during someone else's presentation. And we have pretty strict rules for that, and it's very small, it's very short, just to try and needle at the other person's case. Ask them some questions like, what's your source on that? Or doesn't this contradict your main premise? Those types of questions. And the key with a cross-examination style debate is actually think about what happens in the courtroom when there's a witness and the other lawyer is asking questions in a cross-examination. And that's exactly what we'll see tonight. It's a really dynamic presentation where the point is the same as points of information, where you're trying to throw the other person off guard, you're trying to make sure that their case can withstand questioning, and sustained questioning, because there are actually a full 2 minutes where the person at the podium can ask whatever they wish of the person that just spoke. So they can go through their entire case, go through their entire thesis, say, you said this, what's your source? You said this, isn't that a logical fallacy, sir, or ma'am? And this is all part of making a very persuasive presentation, because if your case can't stand up to that type of questioning, then it's going to make the audience turn against you. It's going to say, well, how could I believe that? He didn't have a source, the lines weren't connected. So the questioner did a really good job of shifting the case into his side, or her side, before they've even presented their own case. Now, of course, this can work in the opposite, where the person doing the questioning can be so flummoxed by the person doing the answering if they have all of the right answers to the questions they're asking, or if the person is wise enough to object to any questions that might be off topic or out of bounds, to say, no, I'm not going to answer that question because that completely defeats the purpose of what we're talking about, or you're attempting to introduce a red herring, or you're trying to throw everyone off guard. And those are some good tactics during a cross-examination. The person who's standing at the podium, so our format is the first person will speak for 5 minutes, and then that person will be questioned for 2 minutes, and then that person will then present their own case for the following 5 minutes, and it will proceed like that. The person who's doing the questioning stands at the podium, and we do this for one main important reason, which is that the person that's doing the questioning is in charge. They're the one that's in command of what's happening. So that if they ask a question, and then we get back an answer, and the answer is going on for too long, or it's not the answer the questioner is looking for, the questioner is well within his rights to say, enough, I'm going to move on to a new question. And that's actually a pretty interesting tactic for the people who are answering. The respondents can continue on, ramble on and on and on with an answer, and as we always say, in debating, your time is gold. That's all you have. The 5, 7, or 2 minutes is the only thing that you have to actually persuade and convince the audience and the adjudicator that your case is from the side of right. So if you use the time that you are being questioned to basically reaffirm your case, to summarize your case, that's a bonus for you. So it's a loss if the person who's doing the questioning loses control. And of course, as we always say, a good lawyer only asks questions they already know the answer to. So if you ask a question that you're pretty sure that the other team doesn't have an answer for, and then they have a really good answer, like they have a really good source, or they have a really good reason for introducing something that they did, then you're thrown off and you might not have a follow-up question that can really tackle that. So once again, cross-examination debate is something that's really interactive. It's a bit more of a conflict than you normally see in our regular parliamentary debates, and it's something that's a really exciting twist. So we hope that's going to be entertaining tonight. I'll take any questions. Okay, thank you very much.